Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Josh. I'm part of Network 1901. If you didn't already know, now you know. And I'm here because I wanted to go live and talk to everyone a little bit.
The sweeter things.
Oops. I wanted to talk to everybody a little bit about what's going on at Network 1901 and get some of your thoughts, some of your ideas. I want this to be a little bit more communal. And I'll kind of be waiting a little bit for people to come to the live stream. And this live stream, by the way, won't stay up forever. This was kind of more of a test for like some new software. Hopefully this looks good. But also, I really just wanted to come on and actually talk to you and not have this be like extremely formal. I'm not looking to make this like a video that goes up on the channel forever. I wanted something that really like we could sit around, chit chat for a while and talk about where the channel's going. Kind of to give you a background of why I thought this. So Hannah, how's it going? Seal, how's it going? Jordan's here, promised me $5 if I popped in. I did not. And Seal, thank you for complimenting my shirts. One of the things that like I thought about last year, Shannon, Angie and I sat down last year and said, where do we want things to go? We talked about creating series. We've created the Disney Legends series, the history of the Disney Princess, the Film Era series have all done really well this year. We've had a few that we tried out that didn't go as well as we wanted to. Uncle Bobo, hey, how's it going? But for the majority, I feel like the series that we've kind of put out this year have done really well. We did a few live shows here or there, but those became kind of more and more sporadic as the year went on because we found really that the live show format just wasn't overly working for us, and we teetered pretty much this entire year between either having our faces on camera in videos or just doing it kind of like a classic video essay style where it was just photos and videos of whatever we were talking about and not having our faces on camera. We kind of settled on being more on camera, so as some of these series are ending, Angie and I have recorded some of the final episodes in the Film Era series, so those videos will still be without our faces, but almost everything else will feature Shannon, Angie, or I actually like on camera like this, talking about things, but then also cutting to video and photo stuff so that kind of what we're talking about. But I wanted to talk to you guys and get your opinions on what you really liked or what you do really like about the channel right now and what you think we could be doing better and where you want to go in 2020. Because, listen, Disney's changed radically now with the launch coming this week. And I kind of wanted to do this because this week, we're going to see the launch of Disney Plus. And I put a poll out on the community board a couple of days ago, what people wanted to see. And a lot of people wanted to see videos talking about Disney Plus, but with history elements to them, and not just like a podcast and not just some kind of review or live show. I kind of wanted to get your thoughts and ideas as the people who show up to this live stream of what you want to see, because Disney Plus is something that we could really do something cool with, but I just don't know what yet. And in fact, I already got Disney Plus. I mean, I'm not watching it. It streams starting Tuesday, but I already bought into it. So, really what we're talking about is, starting on Tuesday, should we be making more and more content about Disney Plus, or should we just stay with history and go backwards in time? Because truthfully, the YouTube algorithm prefers and what would make us more popular is doing stuff that's more topical, and we've kind of almost all year long done stuff that's not topical. The most viewed video from this year was actually our collaboration with the One Marvelous Scene, talking about Marvel as we were going into Endgame, so that was topical, and that video did really well for us. But we haven't really done anything like that, except for when we put together our own collaboration for Toy Story, and we're going to be part of a collaboration coming up in December. Shannon's actually going to do that video talking about Star Wars, and I think there's like 15 different channels involved with it, but I don't know a whole lot, and I'm probably not supposed to share any more than that. We don't have an exact date. We don't have. I know what everybody is doing a video on, and I'm super excited about it. But yeah. Hannah said, I really love the Disney Eras videos. Seal said same. And those videos are going to continue. Actually, this week, there will be a brand new one. The Post-Renaissance Part 1. Post-Renaissance Part 2 will be coming out shortly after that. And then we'll do a revival. I'm not sure if that's going to be Part 1 or 2. I'm sure it'll be a two-parter. And then from there, Angie and I have talked about going in-depth film by film. If that's something that you want to go, like going all the way back again, starting over and going film by film. I also want to do live action eras explained. People have asked us to do shorts eras explained. That gets like really in depth depending on what character you're talking about and what's going on. Yeah. Chris said what actually brought me to your channel was your Star Wars videos. Okay, so there will be a lot of Star Wars content, I assure you, coming up really soon. We kind of want to be on top of that and be topical about it. And Shannon has actually talked about, and if you've not visited our Patreon at all, patreon.com/network1901, it's been a little bit dead. Those people that are our patrons, we send out thank you notes, we sent out stickers, everybody got those. But there hasn't been a lot of like new content on our Patreon. We've been kind of waiting for Disney Plus. Shannon has been talking about doing Disney Plus podcasts for The Mandalorian. I've talked about doing The World According to Jeff Goldblum podcast. I actually want to jump on Patreon maybe on Tuesday and kind of give my first impressions of what Disney Plus is. I feel like Patreon gives us like a much more relaxed atmosphere. We can kind of just talk about things. We do like movie recommendations and things like that. So when I don't really like to do like movie reviews, but I'll easily throw up like a 5-minute review on Patreon. Human person. Cool. I'm curious to see of how your take on how Disney Plus will affect the Disney eras. Like if they made animated features there using Disney animation technology, would it be part of the eras upcoming? No, the eras that we're doing right now are theatrical feature releases, and I don't see Disney stopping putting movies in theaters, right? Like we've got 2 Pixar films coming out next year. We've got Soul, which was a fantastic trailer if you didn't see that this past week, and Onward, and they're still going to do theatrical releases because there's a lot of money to be made at the box office, so they're going to continue to do that, and then put the movies out a few months later onto Disney Plus. So is it a new era that we're probably going to start seeing? Maybe, but I'm not sure. But and that's something maybe that we'll talk about. And I'm actually interested in maybe doing especially because now I hope you guys really like how the webcam setup looks right now. Like I got a software that allowed it to bokeh the background, and this just looks really nice, I feel like. So I'd like to sit down maybe with Angie, just her and I sitting here and discussing and deep diving into some ideas, some bigger ideas like that. Like does the Disney eras does that change now that Disney Plus is around? I feel like that's something that we could kind of deep dive into for like a 20-minute, 30-minute video with the two of us sitting here kind of discussing it back and forth. Philip said, there will be no shortage of hot takes on Disney Plus material. What I want in general is more substantial content, critique history, whatever. Yeah. Like, I don't want, one of the things that, like, if you've been around the channel for a long time, there were 5 of us initially. So the 3 of us, Shannon, Angie, and I, and Dale and Andy. And Andy really loved doing movie reviews. And I have no problem with people that do movie reviews. Jeremy Johns, people like that. Like, I like watching them, but I don't like to do them. I feel like there's enough people doing movie reviews that it's not exciting to me. I would rather take like Lady and the Tramp that's coming out this week, right? And go and say, hey, this is what the new movie was. This is what the old movie was. These are the things that are similar. These are the things that are different. Some of these ideas from this animator, from this storyteller translated, etc. Like, I would rather do that than give just some kind of like blanket, review of yeah, this was a good movie, or oh, I didn't like this, or whatever. Like, I don't ever want to do that. That's not what I would ever want to do for this channel. And I think that Angie and Shannon are on the same page with me. So if we do Disney Plus content, it would be very much immersed into something that isn't a review, that's not just kind of on the surface. We want to deep dive into it. And whether that's talking about how movies are made now versus how movies were made then, etc. Like that kind of thing. And, if you're interested in just kind of hearing our thoughts, whatever, maybe that's where Patreon comes in. Yeah, I don't want to do like a hot take necessarily. When are you going to finish doing the Disney eras? Evelyn says. The next one comes out this week. Post-Renaissance Part 1 comes out this week. Post-Renaissance Part 2 will also be out this month. And Revival should be out hopefully January. Finish that up. And then we'll go back and look at all the movies again in a deeper way, one by one. And we'll also probably do live action eras at some point. I already did Pixar eras, so I'll do a video about live action eras. Treasure Season says webcam and lighting looks vibrant. Cool. And we've been actually adding in, I don't know if you've noticed in the past couple of videos that Angie and I have done, we've been putting in colored lights back behind us, or I had a blue light shining on me at one point, but we've decided to put in more colored lights. Yeah. Dcast. So, okay. This is the Logitech C920, but it's run through a couple of programs. So there is a program called XSplit. XSplit is what is bouqueting the background. And then I'm running this through OBS so that the webcam, if I wanted to add like a lower third or wanted to, go to some other things, I could. So it's like the webcam is running through XSplit, which is running through OBS, which is now on YouTube. It took a while to get to this, but I'm assuming it's Andy on that side. So hey, Andy. Yeah, guys, I think I'd be interested in knowing what you guys want to see, what kind of series you guys would be interested in the next year. And that's something I've kind of toyed around with. I don't know if any of you guys watch What Culture. Not to say that I would ever rip them off, but they do a series called Why, and it allows them to ask questions about things that are topical, but then kind of go back in history and talk about whatever. I think because that's a more wide open idea, I want to do that. I talked about doing like a Disney deep dive type of like little discussion show on here, but I don't know. Live shows haven't necessarily. I mean, like 9 people are here now, which is great, and I think I've had up to like about 20 people. This is being truthfully honest. I've had about up to 20 people in a live stream at a time, which is fantastic. I love chatting with everybody. But as far as numbers go, those live streams don't get views past a certain amount of time, versus some of the more thought out videos like the Eras videos, or like History of a Disney Princess or whatever, really do extremely well in the long run. They have this just longevity. They get, within the first 24 hours, really good views, and then they kind of continue to go. They don't get like amazing views every day, but they do really well. But like live shows that we've done in the past, they just kind of tank really hard. And I enjoy doing them. I enjoy chatting with people in the moment. But I would like to see us grow and continue to do more things. I've talked to a lot of people this year, and a lot of people have said they, I forget who said, Cursed, said that, Star Wars videos brought them there. The History of a Disney Princess series brought people here. Disney Eras Explained brought people in, and the One Marvelous Scene collaboration that we did with a bunch of different channels also brought people in. And I love that. I think that's great, but I would also still like to expand, especially as the Disney film eras is going to probably be done soon. History of a Disney Princess is going to be done soon. I think Shannon only has 2 or 3 more videos in that series. We've only got a handful of Disney Explained series videos, and so it's not problematic, but it is like, okay, I'm looking for the next thing to do, and I would really like to just continue to hear from you guys. And if you're wondering about podcasts, if you're interested in more Star Wars, especially from Shannon, Shannon is doing Lipstick and Lightsabers, a podcast that she does twice a week, and my podcast Modern Mouse will be returning in January, which is In Depth, and I'm not even sure if our YouTube audience knows about the podcasts that we do, and I'll probably start linking them down below. But in-depth conversations about Star Wars and Star Wars fandom, and with Lipstick and Lightsabers, and Modern Mouse being about Disney and how looking at kind of social political issues through the lens of Disney is mine. Seal says, I noticed that every now and then Disney has an era of new and great movies, such as the Golden Age, Silver Age, Renaissance. Recently, Disney hasn't been making a whole lot of movies that bring that great story and feeling that they gave us from previous eras. I was wondering if there will be another era coming up that will be similar to the Renaissance. I would actually, to be honest with you, I'd say this is pretty debatable. Because box office wise, critically, the revival has been the new Renaissance, right? I'm like, all of the films for the majority in this era have been what people would consider classic Disney storytelling. Frozen, Moana, Zootopia, those kinds of movies, Princess and the Frog, Tangled, those movies really are reminiscent. The animation style is different. I mean, outside of Princess and the Frog, the animation style is different, but I think a lot of people would say that the revival era it's the most successful era of any era. If you're talking about like the heart that like you saw from like your childhood Disney movies, I don't know if you'll ever get that again. I grew up as a Renaissance kid, early 90s to me, 89, Little Mermaid, but then Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, those movies are the movies to me that, like, when I think of Disney, I'll always think of those movies, because I was a kid and I had cherished family memories with those films. I played the Aladdin video game. I played the Lion King video game. Those are hard games, by the way. And the revival movies, I think, are awesome, but they don't compare to like my personal feelings, right? But I do think that there is a younger generation clearly there's a younger generation that saw Anna and Elsa and wanted to be them and wanted to love them, and those are their characters that they take with them. So to me, that's really, it's generational. It's generational. My dad loves Cinderella. His favorite movie will always be Cinderella, no matter what. And that's kind of just how it's gonna be, And I have an attachment to the older films as well, because I had the VHS tapes. I watched them at home. The Jungle Book. I always loved Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland. Those movies I have cherished memories with as well, more than I have cherished memories with like these newer films. Although I do have some good memories with some of them, if that makes sense. Anyways, seriously, thank you guys for showing up just kind of at this random thrown together thing. I threw together and posted a thing online like an hour ago. Clearly the thumbnail doesn't really tell you anything, and even the title doesn't tell you much. Okay, so let me just go through some ideas. So would you guys be interested in more of like a conversational deep dive, kind of pseudo podcast? It would still be a video with Angie and I here talking, and it would probably have some kind of clips and photos from whatever we're talking about. But would you be interested in more in kind of like a deep dive conversation about, instead of it being a video essay, it would be much more conversational, about bigger ideas? I don't know if that's something that interests everyone, but to me that does. But I want to make what you guys really want. I don't want to make like something that isn't going to get watched by anyone. That's no fun for you or for me. Also, Groot says, "I am Groot," which translates to hi. And by the way, Angie is out of town this week. And if you didn't know, so Angie and I are married. We live together, and Shannon doesn't live near us at all. We're just all friends. But because of that, like Shannon is never like in a video with me or in a video with Angie. Angie and I sometimes do some things together. That's kind of it. Yeah. Seal said yes. Deep dive conversations. I would love that. Okay, cool. I might put that out there for Angie and Shannon and see what we think about doing that. Yeah. And anything about Disney Plus? What do you guys want to hear from Network 1901 about Disney Plus? Like, what interests you about that? I want to do some deep dives and stuff about Disney Plus, but like, let's just take Lady and the Tramp is coming out, and that might be something that we talk about. And I put it up on the community board. Would you guys like to see us do kind of like a live stream, like live reaction, live watch along kind of thing? And that, like, not a lot of votes happened for that, so we're not going to do that. I don't know. I don't know. Disney Plus is something that I really want to play with and try something new. And here's the thing. Initially, when this channel started, I think I veered personally a lot towards the Disney theme parks. And I think I've only made like 3 Disney theme park videos this year. One I did with Rob Place as a collaboration. Do you guys want... a lot of you came here based on content around Disney animation, Disney filmmaking. Do the theme parks interest you? Should we veer into that realm a little bit more than we have this year? Because I know a lot of people either have never been to the Disney parks or don't really want that content. Like the Disney parks, the people that do Disney parks videos and the people that do film videos are very different. And when we were doing theme park stuff, I never wanted to just show the park. I never wanted to talk about just what was going on at the park. I have no problem with that. People like Tim Tracker, Adam the Woo, etc. Like they do that kind of stuff, and that's totally fine. I think that one of the only people that really does what I was doing and that I would still do is Justin Scard. He mixes in a bit of facts and trivia into when he's in the theme parks. I no longer live near the theme parks, so that's kind of difficult to do. But I could still make videos about the parks. It's not a problem. A lot of people have done that. Defunct Land does that, and for a long time, like Rob Plays did that. and there are a lot of people that are in that space. But I feel like we've kind of veered more and more toward film, towards filmmaking, television, etc. So I don't know if I should just stay there or not. Philip said, I would say try it, see if it works. You might have to fine tune it. Theme parks, I've seen so many podcasts about them, and I imagine YouTube is drowned in content as well. Yeah, there are so many theme park people. And it's like really frustrating because when you go to look at like what people do, I feel like people are doing a lot of really, really similar content, and I'm just not interested in it. Personally, this is my personal taste. You can be interested in it, but that's just my personal taste. But when it comes to talking about the history of a place and actually being able to see it kind of change or have somebody point out what that thing is, Defunct Land does a good job. Defunct Land has kind of become the premier theme park person doing that, long form 15 to 30 minute videos about a section of a theme park or an attraction or whatever. The problem is I personally, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I need to see someone's face to like connect with them and to understand how they feel. And I understand why some people don't want to put their face on YouTube. YouTube comments can get really harsh. We've definitely seen our fair share of extremely harsh comments. But that being said, I would rather connect with you guys one-on-one. I would rather do videos like this where I just come on, it's a live stream. This isn't going to stay up on our YouTube channel. I just want to chat with you. I just want to say hi, and I want to connect as a community and make this channel bigger together. It's not just me. It's not just Angie. It's not just Shannon. The three of us, yes, we put in all of the research and write the scripts and record the videos. But this channel would be nothing without the people that watch it and contribute in the comments and add in their own opinions and thoughts. To me, this channel has really become a hub of positive ideology in filmmaking and in artistry. There have been so many people who have given me their thoughts about hand-drawn animation versus computer animation. So many people who have been extremely thoughtful about some of the Disney princesses and why they connect with those characters. Uh-oh. Did I lose you guys? Oh. I'm back? Am I back? I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, everybody. I have no idea what happened there. Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. We've actually toyed a couple of times with a name change. The logo won't go away, but the name change might. And I've talked with Angie and Shannon and myself about adding more stuff into our merchandise shop, doing more with that. Is anybody interested? I mean, I don't know if anybody here is on our Patreon or has bought a t-shirt or anything like that. Is anybody like interested in that kind of stuff from us? I mean, we monetize our videos just because like it allows us to kind of have incentive to keep doing this, because we don't really have a huge Patreon, and we don't sell like a ton of shirts, but it is something that we've put out there. And if we got to a point where we could gladly fund this entire operation on Patreon, I would demonetize like all of our videos. I don't find like a need for that. Like we're not doing this for the money. It is nice to be able to have a couple of bucks as an incentive for what we're doing, and I would love to do this full time. I would love to be making videos. For a long time, we did 2 videos a week. And last year we opted to go down to 1 video a week and kind of make them a bit longer and more in depth. And I feel like that was a smart idea, but I would actually like to go back up to 2 videos a week if we could. So that's just something that I consistently think about. But it's hard. The 3 of us just have such crazy schedules. That doing 1 video a week is just the best right now. But I'd like to move up to 2 videos a week, and I don't want this to sound like poor us, like we don't have a great Patreon or anything, but like that's just kind of the reality of where we're at right now. Anyways, guys, I've kind of blabbed on for quite a while, and thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Are there any other comments or any other thoughts? I mean, like, this has been pretty one-sided on my end. I wish I had like Angie or Shannon here to rip off of with me. Riff off of, not rip off of. Spectacular Spider-Man said, when will you post? When will the post? When will the post Renaissance video be out? It should be out Tuesday. We've been trying to put out videos Monday or Tuesday. So this one should be out on Tuesday. Yeah. And then the next post Renaissance video should be out either the following week or the week after that. So there'll be part 1 and part 2. Yeah. But we always try and post Mondays and Tuesdays. We've not adhered to that completely this year, and that has been my fault. I'm usually the one running late on things. I'm sorry. I started a new job this year, and I started a I started to do a lot more stuff this year. I started a new job, and that job wasn't a 9-to-5 job. It is outside of what I do here. So I also host trivia in the evenings, 2 days a week, and I also now am a digital marketing manager, social media manager for a nonprofit, which I love doing, but it is like a 7-day-a-week job. And then we have events and things, and so when we do events, I lose track of things. So I'm getting used to the schedule now for that job, and getting back on track. And I'm curious if you guys would ever do videos on your guys' favorite or personal favorite films and discuss them, of what you loved about them, if you felt represented in some way, whether as a child, teen, or adult, and if they had a long-lasting effect on you. We've tried not to do a lot of like personal stuff. If you guys would like to know more about like who I am or Shannon or Angie, like that would, I mean, we could definitely do that. Like that's something that is something we could do. I just don't feel like people really wanted that from us. Yeah. Spectacular said, do you think Fantasia will get a re-release for the 80th anniversary? This is where the question, the big idea of what are releases in the Disney Plus age, you know, obviously we're going to get digital and Blu-ray releases. People like when Frozen 2 comes out in theaters, I would assume that the movie would hit Blu-ray digital release maybe in April, and then hit, the Disney streaming right afterwards as well, Disney Plus. So are re-releases even something that Disney's looking at, or are they thinking if we release it on Disney Plus, maybe we put like a little behind the scenes featurette kind of thing with it? That might be something that I don't know. He would say I want a 3 Caballeros 75th release next year. Clearly I do too. It's going up. Okay, so real talk. Disney put out that like 3-hour, this is everything that's coming to Disney Plus day 1. And they put it all in order of the year it was released, in chronological order. And sorry guys. And I actually like fast forwarded to the part where I knew 3 Caballeros would be. Like I went like right to like 1941, and I was like, will Saludos Amigos be on here? Will 3 Caballeros be on here? And the answer is yes, they will be on there. And the answer is yes, this week I'll be watching those films on Disney Plus. I'm very excited for those. Hopefully Landmark Theaters does something. They re-released the film for the 75th in Canada. I mean it's quite possible. Will Home on the Range get a live action remake? Here's the thing, and this is what I think. I think that like all of the movies that were like super huge popular hits, Lion King, Aladdin, etc., didn't need the live action remake. But I think Home on the Range, if it had a live action remake, that's a reason to remake a film. I don't think the Home on the Range is the right one to do. But like the Black Cauldron should be like a Disney Plus live action series. That's my opinion. It should be a Disney Plus live action, like 6-episode series. Philip said, I personally tend to be more interested in content creators let their personal taste, biases, views known. It really helps them come across as people. And we all try to like let our feelings be known. And I think we all clearly pick, like for the Disney Legends, for example, we've all kind of clearly picked people that have inspired us. And so I think like to do a Disney Legends video for me, like, and again, real talk, I think my favorite videos that I've done this year, the one that I just did, oh my god, I'm totally blanking on what I just did. I know I did Eric Larson earlier this year, and the One Marvelous Scene video, and I've done a few others this year that I was really proud of, and the ones that I'm really the most proud of, I legitimately, like, in the middle of recording them, I like just start crying. And it's because like I believe in so much in like what I'm saying and what I'm doing, and especially with the Disney Legends series, like because there's these people that just don't get recognition in the same way that Walt Disney does, or the same way that like anybody now, you know, like we all know, if you're a big Disney fan, if you're a big animation fan, you know who Bob Iger is, you know, but you may not know the guy who you know created Olaf, like who created that character. Like somebody had to draw him first. Who was it? That's the kind of stuff that Angie and Shannon and I are really interested in kind of bringing those people up and elevating them being seen, because it's, yes, it is a major company. Yes, the company wouldn't exist without Walt Disney, but Walt Disney wouldn't have made that company as successful as it was without the team that he had, without the people that still work there, you know, and bringing new and fresh ideas. So stuff like that is just kind of what we want to just highlight more and more of. And so, yeah. And I will definitely pass that word along to both Angie and Shannon, you know, to add more of our own personal taste, our own personal thoughts into our videos. I think that we've done a little bit of that this year, but I think I would agree more of it probably will be good. He even said, I can't wait to hibernate for a couple of years until I have nothing to watch anymore. I'm assuming you're going to be talking about Disney Plus, and I assume that they're probably going to continue to put stuff on there, and I don't know if there's enough time. I would be interested to look at how many minutes or hours or days you would actually have to watch everything on Disney Plus. And Rob Playas does a really good kind of video. Like, it's not really a series, but he does do a lot of videos that talk about, like, if you were to stay at Disney World for an entire year, how much would that cost you? Or, you know, if you watched whatever this is, you know, like every episode of I don't know, Lizzie McGuire, like this is how long it, like, so I think that's a video that Rob could do really well. Yes, Black Cauldron, love that movie. Yeah, love that film too, and I think it deserves more. And I think if it went Disney Plus as a series, not as a new re-release film, but as an in-depth kind of series, like even 6 episodes, like a mini series, definitely great. Home on the Range is an undisputed masterpiece. I don't know about that. I'm not sure Home on the Range is anyone's favorite. It is Home on the Range, just like it. I personally would disagree. I think for some people it's nostalgic, but I would not say it's a masterpiece. In the same, I mean, they could have told so many different stories, and it could have been like Animal Farm, you know, that obviously they weren't going to jump into some kind of like communist conversation. So, yeah. What movie are you looking forward to most on Disney Plus? Amber asked. Um, I'm actually really looking forward to Noelle more than I probably should be. I'm not like a huge Christmas movie person, but I've been kind of like waiting for that new Christmas movie to like seep into my life. Ever since Elf, like I just feel like there's not been a Christmas movie that's really hit me personally. So I'm hoping Noelle is. I know that Lady and the Tramp is not going to be what everybody would like it to be. Lady and the Tramp to me is top 5 Disney film of all time, Disney animated film of all time. So if they could even come near Lady and the Tramp's animated, top 5 deal for me, that would be great, but I don't think they will. As far as older stuff, I'm really looking forward to going back and watching Three Caballeros and Saludos Amigos. I haven't seen those in quite a long time. I had them on VHS, but I never got them on DVD or Blu-ray. But there's a lot of stuff. The new Three Caballeros TV show. Man, I'm really interested in that. I really am super into that. And I watched the first episode of it because it initially debuted, I believe, in the Philippines, of all places. And it was really good. So I want to see it translate over. And I want to see a couple of other things, too. There's so many things that are coming. They're just ridiculous. Human said, I'm excited for Noelle. I'm still setting where I lie with the High School Musical series. I watched High School Musical, the original film, for the first time like 3 years ago. And so I came late to that party for sure. I've never seen any of the sequels, just the original film. I've seen clips and heard songs. I'm really into this though. The High School the musical, the series. Like, I think it could be good. I'm interested. People who have seen sneak previews of it said it was really good. I'm glad that they did something different, and I like that it is kind of it's the only kind of documentary type of Office series that they're doing. I'm glad that that's not like a consistent thing that they're doing, like I want it to be this kind of funny documentary comedy drama, and I don't know, I'm interested in at least checking it out. I mean, I'm gonna have the service, so why not? I don't know if that's gonna be a first week viewing for me. I know for some people it probably is like first day viewing, but I don't know. I may go back actually and watch some a lot more older stuff. And I know Shannon obviously is gonna watch Mandalorian, and I don't have Disney Channel, so I want to also jump on board DuckTales and Tangled, the animated series. I watch more of that, and some of the Marvel shows that were on Disney XD that I never got a chance to see. I don't know, what are you guys interested in watching on Disney Plus? And you've asked me. I'm super excited to hear what you guys are looking forward to, or if you're gonna get it. I mean, like, I know Humans that can't wait for the Imagineering docs. I agree. The One Day at Disney thing actually is really exciting to me. Like, I feel like at the D23 Expo, everybody thought that the secret panel. Sorry, everybody. That the secret panel was going to be like a, big theme park announcement, or maybe a big film announcement, or like something crazy. And it was just like this Disney Plus show. And everybody was like really let down. But I was actually kind of excited about it. I was like, oh, okay. I wish I would have been at this panel. I know a bunch of people who were theme park people who were like, oh, yeah, they're going to announce like they're going to revamp Tomorrowland, or they're going to, do something to add like a new area to Star Wars Land or something like that, and they just dropped that little thing. Amber said Lizzie McGuire, the new series. I know. I wish that it was coming out the first day, but I understand that we've got to pace ourselves. I'm kind of really bummed that like none of the Marvel series are going to be first day launches either, which is really surprising to me that they didn't have like at least one of like the 6 they've announced ready to go. Philip said, I'm probably gonna have to wait to get Disney Plus. Is that because like you're not in the US or where it's launching, or is that just because you're gonna wait and see? I understand why people are waiting and seeing. I'm kind of waiting on Apple Plus. Like, I don't feel like there's a lot of content on Apple Plus besides like Morning Show that I'd be interested in. And that's something too that I think would be a really interesting deep dive video of like what is the landscape of streaming services going to look like now that Disney is here with their streaming service. And obviously you've got HBO Max coming, and Apple Plus just dropped out, so Amazon and Hulu and Netflix all have some serious competition now. Those are kind of like the big 6 that'll be around. Human said, I'm kind of glad that the new series will be on a weekly release because you can make time for it. Not only can you make time for it, but there is something to pacing out a show. Like, we've gotten also used to like this Netflix binging idea, and I'm 100% like into that world. I actually watched like all of Umbrella Academy in like 2 days, and it ruined my life for those 2 days because I got nothing else done. So it'll actually be kind of nice to just kind of pace things week to week. And yeah, another thing that I'm really excited about, Pixar is dropping 2 series. They're doing Forky Asks a Question and Pixar in Real Life, and both of those are amazing ideas to me, and I'm super excited about it. I think those might be first day viewings for me. Those are first day for me. Philip said, my options for watching it, my PS3 works for Netflix and Crunchyroll, but I don't think Disney Plus will be on it. Actually, you may want to research that, because I think that it is. I think that they're trying to hit every place. Apple TV is not on PlayStation or Xbox. And actually, I think it, like yesterday or the day before, it only hit Roku. So like you had to have an Apple device to be able to do it initially at launch. But I do think that Disney is going to be more open. Agua says, I love weekly because I can discuss around the water cooler. I agree. I think that's, if we could take anything away from Game of Thrones, if the Game of Thrones became a must watch, like, okay, I'm not a sports person, and I don't know if any of you are a sports person, but sports people get this thing where they get to talk about their team week to week, right? They get like, they watch their football game like on Sunday, and then on Monday they get to like talk about it, and every week they get to talk about it. And like, that's just like, not like, everybody watched Stranger Things all at once, and then we talked about it for a week and no one talks about it anymore. And like, that's something that Game of Thrones gave us. For like 2 months, everybody was talking about Game of Thrones, and it was so fun, and I'm excited to do that again. And Human, yeah, the Spark Shorts, the 3 that they've already put online, I think it was 3, that you can find on Pixar's YouTube page, all were fantastic. They all were much more mature. They had something to say. And it really showed that, like, the people at Pixar, when given the ball and not condensed to, we need to make a sequel for this, or we need to adhere to these rules, make fantastic films. And like, not all of them look like Pixar films, and I like that. I like, Pixar created a look in computer generated images, and DreamWorks copied it, and then everyone else copied it. And because John Lasseter was in charge of both Disney and Pixar, you couldn't tell them apart. I don't know how many comments I get on a near daily basis that people believe that Brave is a Disney film, and that so many of the new Disney films are actually Pixar films. Like I've had quite a few people who have said that Wreck-It Ralph is a Pixar film, or that Zootopia is a Pixar film, and it's because the animation styles just are so similar. Yeah. Philip says, as for binging versus week to week, I intentionally hold myself back from binge watching stuff. I don't like the idea of treating shows as a product to be consumed. I wish I was that way. I'm glad that Disney Plus is forcing me to be that way. I wish I was like you, to be honest, because I'm bad. I get stuck in a show and I will watch it till its end, and then I will be sad because there's a gaping hole in my heart because the show is over, and I also decided not to be an adult for a few days, so I need to do all the laundry and cleaning the house and stuff like that. So I wish I was like you. Guys, we've been talking for almost an hour. I'm more than willing to stay up and keep chit-chatting. Stay up. I mean, it's almost 6 o'clock here, so it's not staying up, but I mean, stay online. If anybody wants to keep chatting, and is this something that you guys would like to do, just kind of on not a probably weekly basis, but maybe like a monthly basis of just tossing up a live stream and just chit-chatting about whatever? I mean, truthfully, this has been a good experience, and getting some knowledge of what I should be talking about, going forward. I definitely want to talk. I want to talk now about Disney's idea of doing a week-to-week model versus binging. I want to talk about the landscape of Disney Plus, and what will happen to Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, and Apple Plus, I guess now. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that came out of this conversation. So thank you all for hanging out with me for the past hour or so. I appreciate it, and thank you for saying that that this looked all right. I think right now the screen is a bit fuzzy. I wish I could do something about it. I'm sorry, guys, that it's a bit kind of weird, but I'm glad that for the most part a lot of you liked what this looks like, with the background kind of blurred, and I feel like I look all right, and because of that I feel good about things. Yeah, Human says I can kind of tell the difference between both. Pixar exaggerates certain body features as a form of artistic expression. Disney tries to do more of a realistic matter. Yeah, to a certain degree. I mean, they both have really big eyes. Obviously, all of the characters in The Incredibles are ridiculous body shapes, so they are a bit more. I feel like that's something that Disney had done in the past, and I feel like Pixar has done some realistic looking stuff. The Piper short comes to mind, but we'll see. Spectre, as we all know, Fantasia is the worst Disney film. Obviously, Chicken Little is a masterpiece. Chicken Little is, and I've gone on record to say this quite a few times on other places. Chicken Little may be Disney's worst project that they ever made, because it just didn't work. It could have been really good, and I think that's what makes it even worse. So I'm sorry. That's just my personal feelings. Chicken Little might be Disney's worst animated film ever. Sorry. Yeah. With that being said, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Thank you. I might do this again some other time, or I'll have Shannon or Angie do it as well. I don't know, I'll get back and talk with them. And thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate your time. Expect a post-Renaissance video really soon in the next few days, either tomorrow or Tuesday. I appreciate it. And yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And that's it. Oh, also, if you have not, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'm assuming all of you are subscribed. And yeah. Yeah. Keep on moving, people. Until next time, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.